Have you ever noticed that some people reach their 60s and seem to move through life with a completely different kind of energy? They are not pretending to be 30. They are not trying to deny age, and yet there is something steady about them. Their eyes look clearer. Their posture looks stronger. Their steps feel more deliberate. Their mind seems calmer. They are not perfect. They still get tired. They still have aches. They still live in a real aging body, but they seem to age with more dignity, more strength, and more control. Then there are others who wake up each day feeling as if the body is slowly slipping away from them. The morning begins with heaviness, stiffness, dry mouth, brain fog, weak legs, poor balance, no real energy, no confidence, and little by little, they start believing that this decline is simply unavoidable. But what if the difference between these two groups is not only luck or genetics? What if a large part of it comes down to how the day begins? Hello, I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and in today's video, we're talking about what a healthy 60-year-old does every morning for better aging. This is one of the most important conversations we can have, because aging does not just happen in years. It happens in patterns, it happens in routines, it happens in small repeated choices that either support the body or quietly wear it down, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the first hour of the day. The morning is not just the start of your schedule, it is the setting of your internal rhythm. It influences your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your hydration, your movement, your balance, your mood, your digestion, your hormones, your confidence, and even how well your brain performs during the rest of the day. If your mornings are rushed, dehydrated, inactive, sugary, and stressful, aging often feels harder. But if your mornings are calmer, smarter, more supportive, and more intentional, the body often responds with greater stability and resilience. Now let me say something clearly right from the beginning. A healthy 60-year-old does not necessarily wake up feeling amazing every day. That is a fantasy. Aging bodies have real needs. Some mornings begin with stiffness. Some begin with poor sleep leftovers. Some begin with aches, bathroom trips, or dryness. This is not about becoming superhuman. It is about learning how to support the body you actually have now. And the first thing a healthy 60-year-old does in the morning is this. They do not rush the transition from sleep to movement. This matters far more than most people realize. Many older adults open their eyes, sit up quickly, stand too fast, and start moving immediately as if the body should transition just as easily as it did at 35. But after 60, the body often needs a few moments to shift properly. Blood pressure needs time to adjust. Circulation needs time to respond. The brain needs steady blood flow. Balance needs a second to orient. When you rush that process, you can start the day with dizziness, weakness, visual dimming, or a sense of instability that immediately teaches the body to feel unsafe. A healthy 60-year-old respects that transition. They wake up. They orient themselves. They breathe. They sit up more slowly. They let the body catch up before standing. This may only take 20 or 30 seconds, but it can prevent dizziness, reduce fall risk, and create a calmer start for the nervous system. Better aging is often hidden in very small acts of respect for the body's changing timing. The second thing a healthy 60-year-old does is they pay attention to hydration early. Now, this sounds simple, but it is one of the most powerful anti-aging habits there is. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, the body often wakes up mildly dehydrated. That dehydration may show up as dry mouth, fogginess, low energy, a heavier feeling in the limbs, constipation, or higher blood sugar readings. And because thirst becomes less reliable with age, many older adults do not fully realize how dry the body is. A healthy 60-year-old does not treat water like an afterthought. They understand that hydration is not just about quenching thirst. It is about blood volume. It is about circulation. It is about brain function. It is about kidney support. It is about helping the muscles and joints move more smoothly. It is about giving the entire body the fluid support it needs to begin the day well. This is one reason the healthiest aging routines are often less dramatic than people expect. They are built on things like posture, hydration, light movement, blood sugar stability, and nervous system calm. Not because those habits are boring, but because they are foundational. The third thing a healthy 60-year-old does is they do not let breakfast become a blood sugar trap. This is a huge one. Many seniors wake up and, without realizing it, begin the day with foods that create a sugar roller coaster: juice, cereal, toast with jam, sweet yogurt, pastries, sugary coffee drinks. Even foods that sound healthy can create a fast glucose rise when the body is older, less insulin sensitive, and less active in the morning than people assume. Then what happens? Energy goes up quickly, then it drops. The brain gets foggy. The body gets hungry too soon. The mood becomes less stable. The legs feel heavier. The person starts craving more food or more caffeine. And they end up blaming age when the real problem is the way the day was fueled. A healthy 60-year-old thinks differently about breakfast. They understand that breakfast is not just something to fill the stomach. It is a signal to the body. It tells the body whether the day will begin in a stable, supported way, or in a way that creates metabolic stress. That does not mean breakfast has to be huge. It does not mean everyone must eat the same thing. But it does mean that a healthy 60-year-old tends to favor steadier choices. More protein, more fiber, less fast sugar, less refined carbohydrate alone. Better pairing of food, a smarter beginning. Because after 60, stable blood sugar is not just about diabetes. It is about energy. It is about nerve health. It is about circulation. It is about inflammation. It is about how clearly you think by 11 in the morning. The fourth thing a healthy 60-year-old does is they move early, even if only gently. This may be the most underrated morning anti-aging habit of all. The body was not designed to go from lying still to sitting still for another 4 hours. Yet that is exactly how many people live. They wake up, sit, eat, scroll, watch, and remain physically quiet. Then they wonder why their circulation is poor, their legs are weak, their joints are stiff, and their balance is getting worse. A healthy 60-year-old understands that movement is not optional decoration. It is maintenance. It is medicine. It is communication with the muscles, joints, nerves, and blood vessels. Morning movement does not need to look heroic. It may be walking around the house. It may be standing and stretching. It may be ankle pumps at the edge of the bed. It may be a short walk outside. It may be simple chair rises. It may be 5 or 10 minutes of gentle mobility work. The point is not intensity. The point is activation. When you move in the morning, you tell the circulation system to wake up. You tell the muscles they are still needed. You tell the brain and body to coordinate. You tell the joints to lubricate. You tell the blood sugar system to use fuel more effectively. You reduce stiffness. You reduce stagnation. You create momentum, and aging loves momentum. The fifth thing a healthy 60-year-old does is they notice what the body is saying instead of ignoring it. This is where healthy aging becomes wise aging. A lot of people move through their mornings half asleep, disconnected, and dismissive of their own symptoms. Dry mouth, headache, dizziness, heavy legs, poor balance, tingling feet, morning brain fog, constipation, weakness. None of these should create panic, but all of them are information. A healthy 60-year-old is more observant, not more fearful. They notice patterns. They notice how their body feels after sleep. They notice how food affects them. They notice whether their feet feel numb or steady. They notice whether their mind is sharp or slow. They notice whether their morning routine is helping or hurting. This is one of the biggest differences between reactive aging and intelligent aging. Reactive aging says, I guess I'm just getting old. Intelligent aging says, my body is telling me something. Let me pay attention. That mindset alone changes everything. Now let us go deeper because I want to show you how these small morning actions connect to the bigger picture of better aging. A healthy 60-year-old does not just think about surviving the day. They think about preserving function. Function means being able to get out of a chair without fear, being able to walk with confidence, being able to think clearly enough to manage life, being able to cook, drive, shop, climb stairs, talk, plan, remember, and move. And the truth is this: better aging is not really about looking younger. It is about preserving function longer. That is why the morning matters so much. If you start the day dehydrated, sedentary, dizzy, sugar-spiked, and inflamed, function erodes faster. If you start the day steady, hydrated, moving, fueled intelligently, and paying attention, function tends to last longer. Now, I want to talk about something people do not discuss enough: morning inflammation. Many older adults wake up and think their stiffness is simply what mornings feel like now. And yes, some increase in morning stiffness can happen with age, but the severity of that stiffness is often influenced by the way the body is being supported. Poor sleep, dehydration, low movement, blood sugar instability, inflammatory eating patterns, and poor circulation all worsen the way the body feels on waking. That means a healthy 60-year-old is not only trying to get through stiffness, they are trying to reduce the causes that make the stiffness worse. This is why morning movement matters. This is why hydration matters. This is why better evening habits matter too, because the body you wake up in was shaped by the choices you made the day before. A healthy 60-year-old understands that mornings are built the night before. That means they also pay attention to evening habits. Better aging in the morning often begins with the previous evening's meal, bedtime drink, hydration pattern, and sleep quality. They do not separate one from the other. Now, let us talk about light. This may sound small, but it matters. A healthy 60-year-old tends to expose themselves to morning light more intentionally. Why? Because morning light helps set the body clock. It helps the brain understand that it is daytime. It supports sleep rhythm later. It can improve mood, alertness, and hormonal timing. After 60, sleep quality often becomes more fragile, and the more fragile sleep becomes, the more important rhythm becomes. Morning light is one of the simplest ways to strengthen that rhythm. This does not mean staring at the sun. It means opening curtains, stepping outside if possible, or simply not spending the first 2 hours of the day in visual darkness. A body that receives the message that morning has begun often performs better later. The healthiest aging routines are full of these tiny biological signals. Water tells the body support has arrived. Movement tells the body function is needed. Light tells the body the day has begun. Balanced food tells the body not to panic. Calm breathing tells the nervous system it is safe. These are not random lifestyle tips. They are instructions the body understands. Now, I want to talk about mental state, because a healthy 60-year-old does something else many people miss. They do not begin every morning with immediate stress overload. This is one of the great mistakes of modern living. People wake up and within moments they are checking messages, worrying about family, thinking about bills, rushing into noise, or mentally reliving everything wrong in their life. The nervous system goes from sleep straight into alarm. That is not healthy aging. That is daily biological ambush. A healthy 60-year-old is often calmer with the first few minutes of the day. Not because life is perfect, but because they understand that a nervous system thrown into stress immediately will shape everything that comes after it. Blood pressure rises, breathing becomes shallower, muscles tighten, blood sugar becomes less stable, mood worsens, focus scatters. This is why some form of calm beginning matters so much. A minute of slow breathing, a quiet glass of water, a few moments of orientation before the day begins. This is not luxury, it is nervous system hygiene, and aging well requires nervous system hygiene. Now let me say something about posture and getting older, because the healthiest 60-year-olds are often the ones who continue signaling strength to the body through the way they stand and move. When people age poorly, they often begin shrinking physically before they even realize it. Shoulders round, gaze drops, steps shorten, arms swing less, the chest collapses. The body begins to move like it is apologizing for its own existence. A healthy 60-year-old often does the opposite. Not dramatically, not artificially, but consciously. They stand up taller. They walk more deliberately. They keep using the body in ways that preserve dignity and strength. And this matters because posture affects breathing, circulation, confidence, balance, and even mood. The body is always listening to how it is being used. Use it like it is weak, and weakness tends to grow. Use it with calm respect and consistent demand, and function tends to last longer. Now let us talk about the stomach and digestion in the morning, because many people ignore this too. A healthy 60-year-old does not force the digestive system into chaos the moment they wake up. They do not shock it with massive sugar, random supplements, and coffee on an empty, dehydrated body, and then act surprised when the result is jitteriness, reflux, constipation, or weird energy. They tend to be more thoughtful. Now, does everyone need the same breakfast? No. Does everyone need to eat immediately? No. But what a healthy 60-year-old usually does not do is treat the stomach like a garbage chute. They understand the digestive system is more sensitive now. They understand the body handles excess differently. They understand that steadiness matters. This is especially true if reflux, constipation, poor appetite, blood sugar issues, or medication timing are part of the picture. Better aging is often about reducing friction in the system. A calmer digestive start often means a calmer whole body start. And that brings us to supplements. A healthy 60-year-old does not automatically believe more pills mean more health. This is another huge difference. They may take supplements if needed, yes. But the healthier aging mindset is not to throw random bottles at every symptom. It is to ask better questions. What is actually helping me? What am I taking for a real reason? What is my body struggling with? What deserves testing? What deserves simplification? A healthy 60-year-old often becomes more precise, not more cluttered, because precision ages better than guesswork. Now I want to talk about muscle, because this is a major dividing line in aging. One of the clearest differences between healthier aging and more fragile aging is whether muscle is being maintained, and the morning routine plays a big role in that. Movement, protein, posture, walking, standing strength, All of these send signals to the body that muscle still matters. Once the body gets the message that muscle is no longer required, decline often accelerates. Legs weaken, balance worsens, walking confidence drops, falls become more likely, energy drops, independence shrinks. This is why a healthy 60-year-old keeps using the body in the morning, not because they are trying to prove something, but because they know what happens when they stop. Now let us talk about one more major difference. A healthy 60-year-old protects the morning from chaos as much as possible. Not perfectly, but intentionally. They understand that if the first hour of the day becomes rushed, dehydrated, sedentary, sugar-heavy, mentally noisy, and physically careless, the whole body pays a price. So they build some order into it, wake with more awareness, sit up slowly, hydrate, move, use light, choose a better breakfast, begin calmer, notice the body, protect circulation, protect blood sugar, protect balance. That is not overcomplication. That is self-respect. Now I want to speak directly to the person who feels like they are already behind. Maybe your mornings are messy right now. Maybe you wake up already exhausted. Maybe you rely on caffeine and sugar just to feel normal. Maybe your legs feel weak, your body feels older than it should, and you no longer trust your mornings. I want you to know this. Better aging does not begin with perfection. It begins with pattern change. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You do not need a beautiful wellness routine. You do not need expensive powders or dramatic reinvention. You need one better step. Repeated often enough to become normal. One slower rise from bed. One better hydration habit. One more balanced breakfast. One short walk. One calmer first 10 minutes. One more respectful start to the body. That is how healthier aging is built, not in one giant transformation, in one wiser morning repeated over and over. Before we finish, let me bring everything together clearly. What does a healthy 60-year-old do every morning for better aging? They respect the transition from sleep to standing. They hydrate early and intelligently. They move, even if only gently. They avoid turning breakfast into a blood sugar disaster. They use light to support rhythm. They pay attention to symptoms instead of dismissing everything as aging. They begin more calmly, not in immediate stress. They preserve posture, muscle, and balance. They protect function, not just appearances. And they understand that mornings are not just the beginning of the day. They are the beginning of the aging process repeated one more time. That is why the first hour matters so much. Before we finish, I want to ask you something. What does your current morning look like right now? Do you wake up dry? Do you stand up too fast? Do you feel dizzy? Do you eat cereal or toast and then crash? Do your legs feel weak? Do you move early or sit for hours? Do your mornings make you feel older or stronger? Tell me your age and where you are watching from today. And tell me which part of your morning feels strongest and which part feels weakest. I read your comments, and they help me understand exactly what this community is living through. And let me leave you with this. Aging well is rarely loud. It is not flashy. It does not usually happen through one dramatic cure. It happens quietly, in patterns, in rhythms, in mornings. If you want a stronger future, protect the beginning of the day. If you want better balance, protect the beginning of the day. If you want better clarity, better energy, better mobility, and more independence, protect the beginning of the day. Because a healthy 60-year-old does not just wake up. They begin wisely. I'm Dr. Adrian Keller, and it has been a pleasure spending this time with you today. Keep listening to your body, Keep choosing supportive routines, and remember that the smallest daily habits are often the ones that shape aging the most. I look forward to our next conversation. Until then, take very good care of yourself.